Yeah, I just had a few more sentences to close today, and that's the idea that it's something I learned from. It's a learning tool to hear my own voice. I'm not dealing with conflict, and I'm not just reacting to problems. And I'm using my voice, and I'm trying to present notions and motivations to who I am. I want to say that I'm just starting to find my own identity, whatever it is, in my social role, and I'm trying to not so much offend everybody and leave it that way, unresolved. But I am trying to uh, make sense and do something with it, move forward with it. The natural, uh, who I am. I'm very limited. So I'm just saying there are areas in my life that I'm not settling with. I'm not satisfied. It's nobody's fault but mine. I get it, but there's a lot more than me um, that I'm looking at. You understand? All this video aside, I'm not really looking for me to look back at me, and that's the only one who's looking at me. That's basically what this is about, probably. I've had some ideas and notions of my contribution to social causes and trying to make some kind of communication effort to say, hey, I we can we can walk it out, we can talk about these things, we can start addressing some things. I'm trying to be creative, and I'm not trying to put everybody down. I'm trying to find like I say, my niche that I heard about in the universe, right? You guys were telling everybody. Well, you're right, and how it affects other people. That's intelligent. That was intelligent radio broadcasting. I heard that on a local channel, morning radio, and that was cool, man. Because that means I think everybody's listening to everybody somewhere. They don't have to identify themselves. They don't have to show allegiance or affiliation. Okay, great. It jeopardizes you to know me. Great. Just say hey Aust, how you doing this morning? Can you come over and talk about something with us about this? That would be nice, because that's about all it ever amounts to, anyways, right? Who and then you get a chance to show up and do your little dance and go back to doing whatever the hell it was you were doing before you showed up, right? That's all it is. I keep trying to break down the egotistical barriers that are preventing people from bonding and joining, at least like a cordial nod, hello, good morning, who are unrelated and have nothing to gain from knowing each other. Kind of like the old days where people used to say, what's up, man? Hey, how you doing? What's up? At our age, it seems so frickin' foreign. I'm trying to say, with my energy and not trying to get too angry, is that I'm aware of the Indian position. I'm aware of the United County position. I'm aware of my position as mostly a welfare recipient in my earlier adult life, and I'm still not above the poverty line, disability echelon. And I worry about the future for my son from tomorrow. I worry about some of the ways I present myself. It's not so much the worrying as is I'm addressing the notions that in America they have the right not to know you. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like we all have that melting pot privilege. We don't have to give a goddamn about the person standing next to them. We could step over the body that falls in front of you. That's horrible. That's the attitude. It's a social attitude. I'm trying to convince myself that life's worth living. Not that I'm intending my harm to myself or anything. It's just, what avenue am I going to take? Because I never really adjusted to the fact that as human beings who propagate and make small, creatures that we raise as the future human being, I never caught how come it's so calloused in this country, especially with the convenience and technology and the ability to feel good. as long as it's been in this past, you know, few decades and generations. We went from the Brady Bunch years to a real cutthroat mentality. And you can point fingers all you want, but it's not newspeak that's going to save your ass. It's going to be coping with where it comes from. You gotta, I think Sinead O'Connor, crazy Sinead O'Connor, right? The Irish singer. I love her. She wrote it out like, you know, you can't forgive until you remember. You know what I mean? So we have Mr. Obama as our president currently. The guy's getting his ass broke. They're busting him out. They're not. How's that for vulgar? Our president of the United States, you know, he can't even say 2 sentences. I know he's probably making sweeping moves that are going to affect people more than he's aware of. And I have no privy knowledge to what his policy is actually. And I'm kind of for the idea that we have a better health system in this country, and that it's not just a money-making item, that we are all entitled to the best possible treatment we can get while we're breathing, this generation. But, you know, the deficit he inherited and things, you know, that's incredible. In one presidency, you know, previous. But the circumstances of the world dictated a situation that was unreasonable. Maybe it was mishandled, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I'm not the guy to make that decision. I'm just trying to pick up the pieces with everybody when I get up and go to the grocery store. And I notice it's like mannequins. And it's not my distorted perception to say nobody relates. Nobody relates. And that's pretty cold to grow my son up. I'm raising my kid. He's 11 years old. Nobody calls us. Nobody talks to us. Like I say, they have the right not to have to know you. They'll feed you. They'll house you to the degree that they'll help you. You know, everybody has these entitlements, basic rights, but they don't have to care about you. Got to care about yourself. Well, it's getting very, to my mind, very, very scary. So the concept I'm coming back with is like, you know, I'm bringing out my love for 2010. You know, I wrote that a couple times in different ways. I'm no drug person. I'm no hippie. And I have a lot of balls, I think, to have the idea that I'm so crazy and psycho that I can even use the word love. That's the 21st century as of now, and I'm coming up with 40 years old. I think I'm old enough. I just got to get bearing on how I communicate. I'm not so tripped out that and trippy and space shot that I can't get better and more effective. Look, the news broadcasters aren't the only show in town. I want to broadcast something else besides the bad news.